Hello, everyone. Welcome to Grand Football TV. I hope you've had a wonderful day. It is yours truly, Mr. Tiggs. You are welcome. And I have with me today my guest, who is Mr. Silas. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine. It's good to be here again.
Yes,
It's
it's
good
been a
to be back
while.
to sport.
It's been a while.
Happy
Good
to
to
all our
see you.
fans. Yeah, it's good to see.
Yes, so I'm sure we have been enjoying the Premier League so far, and it's getting to the business end of the season. The business end. There's most of them have played 35 games now, so we are getting to the last three for some, the last four for those who have outstanding games, and if you are Brighton, you have two extra games to look forward to. So yes, this is the business end of the season. So what we're doing tonight, Mr. Silas, we're just going to quickly, have a quick run of the season so far. Then we'll go into the games coming up this weekend. So basically, Arsenal were in the lead for a long time, but eventually their wings have been clipped. They got caught up, and now they are the chasing pack. They are chasing Man City. Did you see that coming?
I don't think I don't know. Maybe you've actually forgotten. I said it from the onset of the season that one good thing for Arsenal, which I proposed from the onset, from the beginning of the season, is that
Mm,
I need I need Arsenal to put up a team that in 2, 3, or 4 years time
mm,
they'll be able to come out to challenge any team in Europe.
yeah.
And it's what I've seen so far. I've not been a part of those people that are calling Arsenal to win the Premier League this season. I
Mm,
knew from the onset of the season that it's too early for them. Arteta has been doing a very good job from the last 1 or 2 seasons, putting
mm.
up together to actually go all through that lengthy period of time to stay on top of the Premier
Stay
League.
on
And
top. Yeah. Yeah.
returning Arsenal back to the Champions League after about 7 to 8 years is a very big thing for
Away.
me. So
Yeah.
for me, it's a good thing. I'm not
Mm,
bothered. I don't know. Though the fans are actually bothered because the fans they expect more. But from a
yeah.
business perspective, if you should look at it very well, Arsenal
Yeah.
is a team that any player want to play for. It's a
Mm,
brand already that anybody want to invest their money into it.
yeah.
What Ateta has done, what the boys have done, the unity, the cohesion, the style of play,
Mm,
the compatibility, the zeal. If I even the tenacity to stand against anything, I can see the way they play Manchester United, play Chelsea, play
mm,
even Man City that they lost to. You could see the
mm.
fighting spirit, the
Yeah.
hunger that hey, we are here,
Yeah.
we have something to prove. Even when they didn't get it, you will know that there's a team in place that can actually give a fight any day. I know
Yeah.
investor will not want to put his or her money into that. And then no fans will not be happy or any player will be happy to come and join the squad like that. So for me, awesome, awesome, awesome. Though
Mm,
from a fan perspective, I know there's more expectation to it. But for me, as someone who see the game in openness, awesome for me so far.
mm, mm. Yeah, as you know, I'm an Arsenal fan, so it's been regardless of what happens this season, I've
Yeah,
enjoyed Arsenal. It's been a long time I've been in this situation where I'm happy, with the amount of games we've won, the amount of performances we've, displayed all through the season. There are some games like, for example, this very last game we played, Newcastle.
yeah, yeah.
Previous seasons were definitely not winning that game, you know. But you could see the fight, the hunger to make sure that they are still in this race. They went out there, did their business, even when Newcastle were trying to, be, like bully them and stuff like that. You could see them standing up and not just falling down. In the past, someone would have gotten a red card. Maybe Granit Xhaka would have gotten a red card in that game. Things would have changed, and maybe from that 2-0 lead, it turns to a loss. These kind of things happened in the past, but this season you can see the you know different kind of team that Arteta has put up, and it's a commendation to him for doing that because in the past We just, they build our hopes, and then from February, everything dies off. For this season, in as much as in my own opinion, I don't think Arsenal will win the league. But I'm happy. This season, I'm happy with all I've seen so far. And you know what's funny? I hope it doesn't come back to bite me. At the start of the season, when we're doing our predictions with all the guys in the group, I actually predicted Man City to win and Arsenal to be second. And we have the point system for those things.
To be fair enough, that's a very good one. Fair. It's good that way. To be fair.
Yeah. So I'm happy. I'm happy so far. So obviously City are going on 3 fronts. Did you see the Champions League game with Real Madrid?
Yeah, exactly.
That was a beautiful game of football by 2 tactical giants, coming against each other, showing respect for each other, in that game, and it was good to watch. So what do you think is going to happen in the second leg? Do you think Man City have the edge, or is still open?
It's a dicey game. One thing anyone will not want to throw away from the Champions League, there's a Madrid effect in everything, even when they are not playing well. There's this high level of understanding, high level of maturity that pick a boy from the streets in Brazil or pick a boy from anywhere around the world and wear the Madrid jersey to play a Champions League. It turns up to give you the best performance. Sure. And it shows that Real Madrid any day, anytime are always a big team, a giant to play when it comes to Champions League. One thing I would just like Guardiola to do is just as he does always, he should not overthink.
That's
true.
Not
overthink.
Very true.
Because Madrid have this way of playing Champions League. And aside the fact that Madrid have this way of playing Champions League, there's a matured man who have seen what they call Champions League in its high and low. Talking about Carlo Ancelotti. This man has seen the Champions League to any depth. He knows what it takes for a team that is down to come up. He knows what it takes for a team that's not playing well to give the best show. Who can imagine a team that have gone down 3-0, then coming back in the Champions League final and then going all the way to win it again? Don't forget. So it's when you talk about Champions League, Ancelotti have it. He have it in fact, he has won. He has won the Champions League even more than many teams that will refer to as big teams in Champions League. So for me, when they get to Etihad next Wednesday, don't sleep, don't put your head all out, because once you leave the game open, Madrid will shock you. And one funny thing about Real Madrid is not bothered if you score them, but they will score you. They will score you.
Yeah, they will score you.
So don't leave it open. So in as much as you are planning to attack them, put all your eggs in one basket. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You have to be tactically strong enough to beat Real Madrid. If you allow all the points to go all out, allow everybody to attack, Madrid will haunt you. Madrid will haunt you any day. And then I still feel there's still going to be a kind of a draw again. That's what I feel. Either 1-1 or 2-2.
And to go to extra time.
Yeah, or penalties. Yeah.
Interesting. So the other teams as well, the Milan teams, Inter Milan have the edge at the minute with the 2-0 win. So do you see Inter Milan going ahead and making it to the final, or that is another tricky second leg?
Well, if what I saw of Inzaghi in the first game is what I'm going to see in the second game next Tuesday, then forget it for AC Milan. One thing I saw in that particular game was the fact that he had Edin Dzeko, Lautaro Martinez, and these two guys were electrifying in the sense that these guys are always on the move all through the game. You don't know who to trap, you don't know who to hold down, you don't know who's crossing the lines, you don't know who's coming back to help the defense line and then get the ball into position to play. And it was hard for Theo for Tomori and the likes that were in the defensive line to actually look for who to actually mark in that game. And that was what brought the game to limelight. In the first 10-15 minutes, the 2 goals came. And what made those goals come in was the fact that these 2 guys, you don't actually know where they are playing from. I checked the lineup. It was more like they are playing 2-man forward, but each time they are on the ball, you tend to see each of them switch into the midfield and the one switch again out. So it was electrifying. Electrifying. Look at the goal from Mkhitaryan. Mkhitaryan came from nowhere and then got the ball into the box and then struck at the post. So it was hard for them. What they actually planned for was to actually capitalize on the strength that, okay, we have a Romelu Lukaku who is very strong and giant, and then we're going to keep him at bay, just as Rudiger did to Erling Haaland. But it was a different ball game because they had people, they are strikers, the like of Martinez and the likes, who were running through the lines, and then it was hard for them to trap any of them in that game. If I see the likes again in the second leg again, then forget it. Inter will go again and then go ahead to beat them again.
Yeah, but we can both agree that they are just, making their way to the final to allow any of those other 2 teams win. I mean, it will be interesting if one of these Milan teams win this Champions League, but I don't see it happening.
I won't want you to write them off. I won't want you to write them off. Do you know why I said so? When it comes to a final game, a Champions League final and a final game, it's always dicey. It's different from a semi-final or a quarter-final whereby you can actually correct your mistake in the space of time. The moment you lose the game from the beginning, if you don't get it right in 10 or 15 minutes interval, you lose it. Check the Milan and Inter game. The AC Milan and Inter, it was the 2 goals came in 12 minutes, and it was the end.
That was the end.
Everything AC Milan did all through that game to get back was not possible. That is where a final will be. It will just be a goal, and then to change the dynamics of things. So any of this side can actually go ahead to hurt anyone. So you can't say anything that makes each of these 2 guys to enter the final. It's a level playing ground for any of them, irrespective of what you are presenting.
Irrespective of the squad. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see who makes the final. Well, we're here for it. And hopefully Real Madrid give Man City a good game so that, they probably will wear down in the league. I mean, they have a very important game this weekend, which we are going to come to in a minute. But I'm not sure they'll be too focused on that game because I'm sure Guardiola, his thinking now would be how he's going to beat Real Madrid because they can afford to lose at least 1 game in the league as they stand right now and still win it,
But another thing to also look is the fact that I hope you know that a particular Man City squad have the depth to go with 11 man down to the bench, and then the next 11 that come into the pitch again will actually beat Everton.
Yeah.
Not say more than that.
Yeah, but Everton, based on their last result, they are looking to stay up. Now they've picked up form to try and stay up in this league, and obviously they're way down there at the bottom of the league. So every point counts for them. That is my only consolation, that they will not just allow Man City just win the game. In as much as Man City might still win, but they might put up a good fight, which I'm hoping they do for the Arsenal faithfuls, But we hope. We're only just hoping. That's all we can do is hope. So we'll quickly run through the games coming up this weekend. There are some interesting games coming up at the weekend. And the first one that kicks off the weekend is Leeds. They play Newcastle. That will be a very, very interesting game because those 2 teams, they've always gone loggerheads with each other in the past. And now they are back in the league. So meeting, and both of them in 2 different spectrums. Normally, they are both fighting for, to stay up and stuff like that. But now, Newcastle's on the ascendant and Leeds are trying to fight for their life. So it'll probably be a very, very interesting game. to see how that one goes. What do you think quickly? Do you think Newcastle have a chance or Leeds?
Well, Leeds so far have not been performing, aside
Mm,
the fact that they are trying to do everything possible to stay afloat and not go down to the second tiers of the of English football.
yeah,
But Newcastle for me looks like a team in progression,
yeah.
good performance so far. I don't think anyone has done better than Newcastle, despite the fact that they're not first or second.
Mm,
For the last 10 years, if you compare their performance and what we've seen this season, they have been the best team so far in the Premier League.
mm,
And that's why it's always fearful to actually stay against them or play against them.
mm,
But for a team like Leeds, who is actually doing everything possible to stay, it's going
mm,
to be dicey. It's going to be a game to look up to.
mm,
It's going to be a game to look up to. I expect
mm,
to see wonder. I expect to see spark. I expect to see two teams who are ready to fight from the
mm,
very beginning to the end of the game. So,
mm.
if I get my prediction right, I'm seeing a 1-1 in that game.
A 1-1. Okay. Actually, I'll write down your predictions so that we'll compare it with the guys at the end of the week to see what happens.
Yeah, sure.
So I've gone for a 2-1, by the way. I've gone for a 2-1 win. Aston Villa versus Tottenham. Another tricky game because they're both fighting for that pretty much last European spot in
Sport, yeah, sure.
Europa League or. So be interesting to see how Tottenham they're looking good now with Ryan Mason. I don't know why they didn't appoint him earlier instead of keeping Stellini when they had sacked Conte. You know, that was a big question to ask, but you can
He
see
never
the
can
job
tell you.
Mason is doing
You
now.
may you may have appointed him earlier and he did not give the performance he came
True,
to
true, 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 true. So I've
Aston Villa,
I've gone for a 2-2. I've gone for a 2-2 on that one.
yeah, I'm
A
seeing a
draw.
draw. Seeing a
You're
draw.
seeing a draw. What would you say is your score prediction?
Ah, I don't want to stick out my head to any goal, particular number of goals, but I'm seeing a draw. Maybe a
Okay, a
1-1.
draw.
Unless no, I'm seeing a 1-1. I trust I can to
Yeah,
score.
I think they can both
Yeah, I
score
trust
in
I
the
can
game.
to score.
Yeah. So Chelsea, they recorded their first win last week against Bournemouth
Bournemouth, yeah,
after
sure.
a very long time trying to find that win. 6 games without a win under Frank Lampard. But yet now they got that win and they're playing Nottingham Forest. Do you see Nottingham Forest posing a threat? Because Nottingham Forest, too, don't forget, they're trying to survive.
Yeah, they're trying
They
to stay
they
afloat.
are in that fight as well. They're in that relegation fight. So they also are trying to survive. So it'll be interesting to see how that one pans out. If they come out all guns blazing, or Chelsea, now they've gotten that first win, we just look and say, oh, I'm here now. We are here. It's time for us to start winning all our games. So we're winning this one. So that,
Permit me to be a bit controversial when in this game,
okay,
that's Chelsea and Nottingham Forest.
okay.
Um, though Lampard had the number 7 effect, all worked out for him in the last game. Though I
Yeah,
don't talk about that, but
yeah,
uh, I've seen something about Chelsea for in the past in previous years. Each
yeah.
time Chelsea get to play against a two-man striker team, it
Mm-hmm.
always hurts them. I see Nottingham Forest hurting them this weekend.
Okay.
Nottingham Forest plays Johnson and Awoniyi.
Yeah.
And each time, check out all Chelsea games. Each time they have the opportunity to go ahead, to face two-man top striking team, it's always a problem. It's always
Mm.
challenging. I don't know. Even when they had the likes of Jose Mourinho, they had the likes of Carlo Ancelotti,
Mm.
Scolari, Antonio
Mm.
Conte, and so on. It has always been difficult for them to play a team that plays two-man top strike.
So, man. Mm.
How would they handle that this weekend? I don't know. It's left
Mm.
for them to figure it out. But
Mm.
based on what I've seen about Johnson and Awoni in their last 2 games, I
Yeah.
feel it's going to be a very tough game for them. They
Mm.
have to be very careful because if they're not careful, their defense may go to sleep and then it will get them punished.
I've gone for a Chelsea win anyway. I'm just saying that they've finally gotten that win. So I mean they
Okay,
have some difficult games coming up,
sure.
so they might want to pick some more points here before, because
The
they've got
best is
Man
for them to
City.
get, yeah, the best
They've,
is for them to get the result now for
mm,
playing the games. Yeah,
yeah, because they've got Man City apparently. They've got
yeah, sure.
um
Newcastle.
I think they've got Newcastle,
Yeah, sure.
and they've got Man United as well. Because I think Chelsea also are one of those teams that have a game in hand.
Yeah, sure. They have one game in hand,
Yes, they
and
have a game in hand. So
yeah,
they
sure.
have Man United as well. So they need to pick up points from this game so that even if they lose to any of those three games, it will not be too bad, because their season has been poor already. They don't want to end up on a very, very bad low. So I see them winning this one. So do you think they win, or you think it'll be a draw again?
They are going to win 3-1. 3-1.
Yes. Okay. Crystal Palace, they play Bournemouth. These two teams are safe, really. So there's
I give
not
it
much.
to Bournemouth without any argument.
You're going for Bournemouth to win.
Without any argument. I've
I
seen Bournemouth in 2-3 games. I give it to Bournemouth. And ever since,
actually went for Bournemouth as well. I've gone for 2-1 Bournemouth.
yeah, I give it to Bournemouth. And ever since the Arsenal legend left, they've not been giving us the performance we want.
Oh,
Talking
Bournemouth.
about no, Crystal Palace.
Oh, Crystal Palace.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, they started off well, though. Don't forget, when Roy Hodgson came in, they won 5-1 away at Leeds,
Yeah.
and I think they picked up another win somewhere. So he was even voted one of the managers of the month. So
The month,
he had
yeah,
a
sure.
good April, Roy Hodgson, but I think the results are starting to falter now a bit. The guys, maybe their mind is already set on their holiday, because they are safe. There's nothing really to play for. They are not
It's not to
fighting.
get where you are safe. You are not fighting for the league title,
Yeah, you're not fighting for a
or
European
other
position.
relegation.
You're
Yeah.
just in the middle. So it's always difficult playing those kind of
I
teams, because
I I feel this is exactly what Chelsea is trying to do. Remember, I said it sometimes back when they
mm,
had issue with Tuku, and Tuku
mm,
left, and then Graham Potter came. It was
mm,
finding it hard to grind out results. And I
yeah,
I remember saying it that the best Chelsea should actually look out for next season is should do everything possible not to have a European game. Go back
yeah,
to
yeah,
drawing board and plan. I feel the businessman, Todd Bowley and the likes, actually thought of this by actually saying, okay, instead of us appointing a manager, let's just bring someone in to just make
mm,
us stay in the league and take us back to the drawing board and let us build properly. And this is what is
mm,
expected of a businessman.
mm,
Hopefully, if they stay off European football next season,
mm,
the hunger, the drive to want to go back to European football will push them harder to build a team that can actually take them back to the
yeah,
Champions League
yeah,
or Europa League. And I'm
mm,
sure they will want to go to Europa League. They will actually want the Champions League. So for me, I feel this is best for them if
for
they should
Chelsea.
actually inward to build something better.
Mm. For Chelsea, they have a lot of problems. I'm just, if you think about what they need to do this summer, a
But
lot of players need to
a
go,
big
because
team,
a lot of players are coming back from their
eh,
loan moves.
yeah,
The
that's why I
likes
said
of Lukaku, the
for a
likes
big
of Hudson-Odoi.
for a big team like Chelsea, I don't
Yeah.
think that would be a problem because um the money is there, except we want to deceive ourselves.
Mm,
All Chelsea need to do is to get their scouts to convince anybody they want to buy that. Okay, fine. We've had a terrible season and then want to rebuild ourselves to get back to Europe again.
mm,
And for any player or for any agent out there knows that Chelsea is not a team that will stay out of the Champions League for 2 or 3 seasons. They will
yeah.
actually spend their way back into it. And then
Yeah.
it's always a fair deal to actually get players. Don't forget, they've had some deals in place already. Nkunkum is
Nkunku.
coming.
Yeah.
So they have the likes. They have players who can actually come into the squad and then actually deliver or do something better for them. So I feel if they do what is needed of them next season, they'll actually get back again into the Champions League.
Yeah. So we'll move from Crystal Palace and Bournemouth. We go to Man United. They play Wolves. That should be a United win.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, Man United have made the top 4 now in race. Before they were comfortable, but they've lost some games lately, and now Liverpool are on their neck. So Liverpool are just waiting for one more slip up, and they'll be above them. And it'd be funny if Liverpool take over them. You know, they both don't like each other. So if Liverpool can overtake them, especially with that 7-0 win they gave them, because after that 7-0 win, all the mouth Man United were making is, we are still on top of you. We are still on top of you. There's no way you are catching us. And imagine Liverpool come and catch them and overtake them for that top 4. Woo! It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting. That's another interesting thing to look forward to the end of the season. Then, we have Southampton, Fulham. Southampton, in my opinion, are like maybe 80% down.
Tomorrow on, tomorrow down, and so on. Well, I feel for a team like Fulham, ever since they got what's his name suspended, Mitrovic is kind of trying to tell on them, just like a particular Leeds too. Ever since Bamford was injured and then he comes into the team today, tomorrow he's out and some other things he gets affected. Mitrovic is just like a hanger in that team, carrying the whole team upon his neck. Even when they play against the big games, against the big boys in the league, and they don't get to win, Mitrovic will have a goal or two. You can imagine you playing City, and then the entire team is down to City, and the City is going to beat you like 3 or 4 goals, and then Mitrovic will stick out his neck to score one. And then you play Chelsea again the following week again, even though they are going to beat you, Mitrovic will score. And then he keep on scoring every single game, every single big team he sees. And then tells you that he's a leader in that team. And ever since he's absent in that team, the team just keep going down the pecking order. So for me, for a team like Southampton too, who is not too good or too solid so far this season, a draw will not be bad for those two. But it's now a battle of who actually needs the result more between them. So I feel Fulham should need the results more, and then they will actually get a win over Southampton.
Brentford versus West Ham. West Ham, they're still in Europe, and they won their first leg, coming from a goal down to win 2-1. So their mind might be set in Europe now that they just need to make the final and not focus too much on this game. Actually, they will focus on this game because they're not safe yet.
No,
they're not safe yet.
Yeah, sure. They're not safe. And then apart from the fact that they actually did well in Europe or did well in their last game on Thursday, you should look at their run of games before now, the last 3 or 4 games before now, they have actually done well in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So I feel they will have a win in this particular one. Even though it looks like they will actually want to rest players to play the Europa League. Which is the same thing for them.
Everton, Man City. That's the main one. The main one for the weekend. You know,
City
I'm thinking, City win 3-1.
Yeah, sure.
I've actually gone for City win 3-2. But yeah, if this result doesn't come through, I'll be the happiest man. Let Man City lose the game, and then we'll hope for the best in their remaining 3 games. But you never know. Yeah, but I'm hoping they pull up something, Everton. The way they played against Brighton. You know, Brighton that has been a good team this season.
And they scored 5.
And they scored 5, you know. So I'm sure Brighton did not expect, because they don't play that kind of football. They don't play that counter-attacking football, Everton. Never have they played like that. So
No, no.
it must have taken Brighton by surprise. And before they knew what had hit them, it was already 3-0, you know.
Yeah, sure.
So coming back from 3-0 is always difficult. I mean, at 2, you can still fight, but 3, difficult.
Okay.
And you have
Yeah.
45 minutes to do it.
One thing I've seen about Everton,
Mm,
um, long before now, is the fact that they tend to give away possession easily, and I will actually hold um Iwobi by the scruff of the neck. He does that too much in their
mm,
game.
mm,
Iwobi, even down to every member of that team, you see them progress into the
mm.
final third, and then before you know it, they tend to lose the ball. If
Lose
you try it
possession, yeah.
against Man City, you are gone. If you
Mm,
lose it, he either plays Bernardo Silva, Mahrez, Foden, or KDB. If you lose possession to any of these four, it's over,
it's
because any of
over,
these four can drive down from the heart of the defense all through to the get into the opposition half, and then you have a Haaland there to actually finish it. Either they play Haaland, they play Julian Alvarez, or they play anybody. If you lose
yeah.
possession to any of these players, then it's over. So I
It's over.
feel if Everton will actually get a result in this game,
Mm,
just give the simple pass and then move to
mm,
space. But if you tend to hold on to the ball like you
mm.
do, City is going to get it over you.
Yeah, let's hope that Everton turn up. Let's just hope they turn up. Arsenal, on the other hand, will be playing Brighton. I mean, I
And
would have
that's
said
I
this
should be
game is
even more
an
scared.
easy game, but because Brighton lost the way they did, I don't think it will be an easy game for Arsenal. I still think Arsenal can win it, but because of what they are fighting for, but I'm sure Brighton would be a very, very difficult one. Very difficult.
It's going to be a big test. The same way many Arsenal faithfuls were scared when they were coming to St. James Park
Newcastle.
last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone should be scared going to play against Brighton this weekend.
Mm, mm,
Brighton, they are a team that when they get to see a big opponent, they tend to play more, even than they play
mm,
against the teams that are in the same rank. So
mm.
I don't know. I don't know what has been planted into that team that makes them play that way. Even when they had their former coach Graham Potter
Yeah,
in the team,
Potter. Yeah, they were
each
playing
time
like
they
that.
get to play, yeah, each time they get to play a big team, they tend to play well and play better. How
Mm,
you are going to hold on Matoma, McAllister, and the likes in that game?
yeah,
It's left to you. Yeah.
it'd be interesting to see. I've gone with for an Arsenal win anyway. Still 2-0. Hopefully that comes up. Then the last two games we have is Leicester versus Liverpool, and Newcastle will play Brighton again on Thursday. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
their game in hand. So, what do you think about the Leicester Liverpool game?
Huh? Leicester? Should I tell them to say goodbye to the Premier League? At least ever since their fairy tale win, they at least they've entertained us a lot. Now,
Yeah,
all
yeah. I
thanks
mean,
to all thanks to
it'd
Jamie
be a
Vardy.
shame to see Leicester go down after what they've achieved in the Premier League.
No, it's not a shame. It's not a shame. What is there is apart from the fact that painfully they lost the owner, and then the management of the son has
Mm,
not been solid, just
mm,
like the way the father was involved. And that's one thing that happens to a single man business. If
yeah,
the owner
yeah.
of the idea is not in place to drive the idea,
True, true,
sometimes,
true.
not all times, sometimes it may not turn up the way it used to be before.
Mm, mm,
That's so sad for Leicester, because that is what is happening. The management is not fully concerned about football. They
mm,
maybe the level at which they are putting into the game is not as big as when the owner was in place.
mm,
Um,
mm,
that's what I've seen for them. But I am not so surprised for a team who actually came in, but like a fairy tale to win the league, and then they've lost virtually 90% or
of
99% of
those
the team
players.
that actually won. So, and then they're
Mm,
not buying quality to replace
yeah,
those that have left.
those
So it's
that have left.
something,
Yeah.
yeah. So it's something to actually look into. So I don't think
Mm,
it's bad for them going down. It's about them going down and then seeing the need for them to pick up again. Maximum
okay.
respect for someone like Jamie Verdi.
Mm,
I see him, I see Harry Kane. This is master. it makes me, when I see the two of them, I remember someone like Francisco Totti. These are people who have dedicated their life to serve a particular team. For obvious reasons best known to them, but whatever the reasons may be, I salute them for their courage.
Yeah. So yeah, we've looked at all the games at the weekend, and hopefully, when the results start coming in, we'll see how things pan out. So, thank you, Mr. Silas. You've been wonderful today. I've had a wonderful time talking football. And now we are back, guys. We are back. So, again, at least we'll do this once a week. So, we'll be back again sometime next week to look at all the results and then look at the next game going into the weekend. All right, guys. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful time, and we shall see you again. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow us on Instagram. Do all the things you need to do. Love for the love. Grand Football is always here for the love of the game. For the love of the game. Thank you very much, guys. Take care and bye. Don't check this.